Hello, SYNGAP Land. My name is Mike Graglia, and this is episode 171 of SYNGAP 10, the SYNGAP 1 podcast. I'm going to do a single issue episode today where I'm only going to talk about the importance of studying adults with SYNGAP 1. All of our kids are going to turn into adults with SYNGAP 1. You might already have an adult with SYNGAP 1. And a couple of things happen when that happens. First of all, you go from a pediatric doctor to an adult doctor. And unfortunately, as hard as it is to find a pediatric doctor who understands these rare monogenic diseases and is interested in learning about them and taking care of these complicated kids, it's actually even harder to find an adult doctor who takes care of these kids. And the way doctors talk to each other is they write papers about stuff and then they read each other's papers, right? So when you go and see a doctor who's never seen a SYNGAPian for the first time, they go to the literature, they go to Google or PubMed and they type in SYNGAP 1 clinical and they see what comes up, right? And there's about 330 papers on PubMed about SYNGAP, and maybe, if we're lucky, say 30 of those, 10%, are about the clinical presentation of SYNGAP, right? Clinical as opposed to science, right? About the patients in the clinic as opposed to all the cool science, brain, gene, protein stuff. Of those 30 papers about SYNGAP in clinical presentation, how many do you think are about adults with SYNGAP? Uno. There's one paper dedicated to adults with SYNGAP, and I'm going to tell you where that paper came from. But that's not enough, right? My son Tony is 11. In 9 years, I'm going to be going into an adult clinic, and I'm going to be seeing adult neurologists who are going to be Googling adult phenotype SYNGAP before they see Tony. And what are they going to find? One paper. And the reason I'm doing this episode today is I'm urging everybody here to help us with the second paper and to help make it as effective as possible, right? Because life's about to a lot of our kids are going to turn to adults. So if you're listening to this, you either have an adult SYNGAPian or you have a child SYNGAPian who's going to be an adult SYNGAPian. If you have an adult SYNGAPian, I'm asking you to make sure you take part in this study. And if you're not sure, email the very first line of these show notes is the email of a study coordinator. Absolutely wonderful researcher in Canada. Please email her. Please say, hey, am I current? Have I done this study? If you don't have an adult with SYNGAP and you have a kid with SYNGAP, I want you to think about everybody you know who has an adult with SYNGAP, and I want you to call them. Hey, can I make you cookies? Can I come over? Can I watch your kid? Is there anything I can do for you to give you the time to help you complete this study? Because by completing this study, you're going to make the resulting paper better, and that's going to improve care for your kid today and my kid tomorrow. Now, when you email the study team, I want to brag a little bit. The study team is funded by SRF, and we did a great job structuring this grant. There's a team in Canada and there's a team in the Netherlands, which means they function in like 5 languages. English, of course, Portuguese, hi Brazil, hi Portugal, French, hi Canada, hi France, Spanish, hi everywhere, and Dutch. All those languages, right? So if you have an adult and you are as a caregiver speak English, French, Portuguese, Spanish, or Dutch, you can take part in this study. What an incredible opportunity. And let's talk about, not only is this an incredible opportunity, but it's a fleeting opportunity. So an incredible and fleeting opportunity to take part in this study that will define in the literature how SYNGAP adults present. And let's be clear, it's really hard to get any new thoughts into a doctor's head sometimes. But if it's in the literature, they'll listen. So we have a chance in partnership with Dr. Andrade and her team to get this in the literature. And let's just be clear on who Dr. Andrade is, right? She is not a neurologist who studies adults. She is the neurologist who studies adults with rare epilepsies, right? She did her early work. She did her first work on this topic in Dravet. Dravet is the biggest rare genetic epilepsy. You've heard me talk about it before. There's a lot of patients. It's very severe. I share just 3 links, the first 3 I found in the show notes about Dr. Andrade's work on Dravet. And it's just exceptional. And this is what people read when they're trying to help and support adults with Dravet. By the way, she's also looking around corners. She's also starting to ask, hey, how does the phenotype change when they're adults? And I share that link in the show notes too. She is the boss. You drop her name, people listen, right? So we were very lucky to get the best. And let me tell you where that paper came from. So Dr. Andrade said, okay, I've worked a lot on Dravet. I want to work on some other genes. And there were some other genes in there. I don't remember their names. And she posted this on some social media. And I was like, whoa, excuse me, Dr. Andrade. what about SYNGAP? Why isn't SYNGAP in there? And I messaged her, and she messaged me back. Very, very nice of her. She didn't have to message me back. I'm just a patient advocacy dude. She's one of the most important neurologists on earth. And she's like, Mike, thanks for your note, but I don't think I can recruit enough SYNGAPians to write a paper. And I said, with due respect, Dr. Andrade, I think we can find you the patients. Please, please, please let me recruit. Expand your study to include SYNGAPians. I will get you patients. And SRF did, right? We delivered 14 patients. Thank you to those 14 families. And they were in the first study. Link is in the show notes. Dr. Andrade very graciously came to our meeting in 2022 and presented those results. Amazing work, right? Amazing work. We then, links in the show notes, gave a grant to Dr. Andrade and her colleagues in the Netherlands and said, please study more SYNGAP adults and write a bigger paper on this so we can really understand. And about, I don't know the numbers, low double digits, more patients have participated in that study, but about 10 families are not responding to Dr. Andrade's team. And I know, when I add those two numbers up, I know there's more families who speak English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, and Dutch that are taking care of adults with SYNGAP. And I would love, frankly, you know me, 100% of those families to take part because, guys, two reasons why this is fleeting. I said fleeting, and it was a very intentional choice of words. First of all, the team is doing the work right now. They've been collecting for a year, and they've just told me, Mike, hey, last call at the bar, get your drinks. Because as soon as they stop collecting data from families, they're going to analyze all those papers, they're going to put the data together, and they're going to start writing a paper. And at that point, latecomers, too late, right? And then that paper gets published, and boom, we now have two papers on adults, both by the best in the world. And if you're seeing balloons on the video, I don't know why Apple does these things. Anyway, point is, that paper becomes the paper. Oh, Mike, we'll just take part in the next paper. I don't think there's going to be another paper from this team, guys, because you have to remember, there's about 10,000 rare diseases out there, right? About those 10,000, about 100 have patient advocacy groups who are together enough to be bugging Dr. Andrade, hey, please do my gene next. So that means that Dr. Andrade and team have 997 emails in their inbox saying, please, please, please work on, enter license plate here, right? ABC 123, whatever the gene's called. Next. She's written about 3 genes. She's written about Dravet, she's written about SYNGAP1, and she's written about CHD2. Hi, Laura. That's it. And maybe I've missed 1 or 2 others. Who knows? Probably. But there's still hundreds of other genes that she could look at and dozens of other PAGs who are certainly banging down her door. So once this is done, guys, we're not going to get another shot with this team to work on adults. And so we really urgently need to take advantage of this opportunity that was bought and paid for with patient funds, right? SRF gave a grant to the team in the Netherlands and Dr. Andrade to write this paper. So I'm urging all of us, parents of adults, parents of not adults, call the parents of adults, please make sure you take part in this survey urgently. This is not I should get to that. This is not I'll get to it next month. This is it. What's that email? First link in the show notes. Send a note. Hey, my kid is age. I want to take part in this study. Please remind me if I've completed everything, if you think you have, or I never enrolled. I'm sorry. Please, I'm ready. I watched Mike. Tell me what to do, and I'm going to do it. Because this paper is going to come out. And it's up to us as parents if this paper has however many it has right now or if it has 100. And the bigger that number is, the better the data is going to be. The better the data. And by the way, guys, parents of adults, what do you all want? When clinical trials happen, you all want those clinical trials to go into adults. True or false? True. Well, do we understand the phenotype of adults? The bigger the N, the better we understand the phenotype. The better we understand the phenotype, the easier it is to get somebody with novel disease-modifying therapies to go into adults. So we have every reason to urgently participate in this study in English, Portuguese, French, Dutch, Spanish. Let's get this done, team. This is a super important paper. It's going to help your adult child today, and it's going to help my not adult child tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for supporting each other as we participate in this critical study.